जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य ओ नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा मुरलीधर राधा मुरलीधर राधे जय गौरचंद्रा जय गौरचंद्रा जय गौरचंद्रा जय गौरचंद्रा जय जय प्रभुपा प्रभुपा जय जय प्रभुपा नित्य गौर हरि बो हरि बो हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल मेरे नाम संकीर्तनम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, The Summum and Bonum, Chapter 90, Lord Krishna's Supreme Opulence, Summary of Lord Krishna's Glories. Text 8 to 9, we read till 14. उपगीयमानो गन्धर्वै मृदङ्गापणवानकान् वादयद्भिर्मुदा वीणं सूतमागधवन्दिभिः सिच्यमानोऽच्युतस्ताभिर्हसन्तीभिः स्मच्रेचकैः प्रतिषिञ्चन् विचिक्रीडे यक्षिभिर्यक्षराडिव. Translation by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada disciples ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As Gandharvas joyfully sang his praises to the accompaniment of Mridanga, Panava and Anaka drums, and as professional reciters known as Sutas, Magadas and Vandis played Veenas and recited poems praising him, Lord Krishna would play with his wives in the water. Laughing, the queens would squirt water on him with syringes, and he would squirt them back. Thus Krishna would sport with his queens, and in same way Lord of the Yakshas sports with the Yakshi nymphs. Text.
Will you speak a little louder if
Yes,
possible?
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Just a
Thank
minute.
you so much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me know if I'm not audible. Yeah. Text 10. ताक्लिन्नवस्त्रबिभ्रोत्रो कुचप्रदेश सिञ्चन्त्य उद्धृतभृता कवरा प्रसूना कान्तं स्मरेचकः चिह्रास्यापगुह्य जातस्मरोत्समया लसद्वादनविरेजुः. Translation: under the drenched clothing of the queens, their thighs and breasts would become visible. The flowers tied in their large braids would scatter as they sprayed water on their consort. And on the plea of trying to take away his syringe, they would embrace him. By his touch, their lusty feelings would increase, causing their faces to beam with smiles. Thus, Lord Krishna's queens shone with resplendent beauty. Text 11. कृष्णस्तु तत्स्तनविश्या जितकुङ्कुमसृक् क्रीडाभिषङ्गधृता कुन्तला वृन्दबन्धः सिञ्चन्मुहुर्युवतिभिः प्रतिषिच्यमानो रेमे करेणुभिरवेभापति परितः. Lord Krishna's flower garland would become smeared with kunkuma from their breasts, and his abundant locks of hair would become disheveled as a result of his absorption in the game. As the Lord repeatedly sprayed his young consorts, and they sprayed him in turn, he enjoyed himself like the king of elephants, enjoying in the company of his Bivishi elephants. Text 12. नटानां नर्तकीनां च गीतवाद्योपजीवनम् क्रीडालङ्कारवासांसि कृष्णोद्दातस्य च स्त्रियः. Afterward, Lord Krishna and his wives would give the ornaments and clothing they had worn during their water sports to the male and female performers who earned their livelihood from singing and from playing instrumental music. Text 13. कृष्णस्यैवं विहरतो गत्यालापेक्षितस्मितैः नर्मक्ष्वे नर्मक्ष्वे लिपिरिष्वङ्गैः स्त्रीणां किल हृता धियः. In this way, Lord Krishna would sport with his queens, totally captivating their hearts with his gestures, talks, glances, and smiles, and also with his jokes, playful exchanges, and embraces. The last verse for today. ऊचुर्मुकुन्दैकधियो गिरा उन्मत्तवज्जडम् चिन्तन्त्योरविन्दाक्षं तानि मे गततः शृणु. Uchu, they spoke Mukunda upon Lord Krishna, Eka, exclusively, Dhiyaha, whose minds, Gira, birds, Unmatta, crazed persons, Vat, as, Jadam, stud, Chintayantaha, thinking, Aravindaksham, about the lotus-eyed Lord, Tani, these words, me, from me, me, from me, Gatataha, whom I'm telling, Shunu, please hear. Translation and purport. We have a purport for this verse. The queens would become stunned in ecstatic trance, their minds absorbed in Krishna alone. Then, thinking of their lotus-eyed Lord, they would speak as if insane. Please hear these words from me as I relate to them. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that this superficial appearance of insanity in Lord Krishna's queens, as if they had become intoxicated by dhatura or some other hallucinogenic drug, was in fact the manifestation of the sixth progressive stage of pure love of Godhead, technically known as Prema Vaichitrya. Srila Rupa Goswami refers to this variety of anuraga in his Ujjvala Nilamani 15.134. प्रियस्य सन्निकर्षेऽपि प्रेमोत्कर्ष स्वभावतः या विश्लेषधियार्तिस्तत् प्रेम वैचित्यमुच्यते. When as a natural byproduct of one's extreme love, one feels the distress of separation, even in the direct presence of the beloved. This state is called prema vaichitya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Seeking the blessings of all the assembled devotees, especially Adipurush Prabhu and Arjuna Prabhu and all the senior devotees. We attempt to discuss these beautiful verses from the 10th canto, last chapter of 10th canto, for the next 15-20 minutes, and then we can have some questions. So, verse by verse we can go. So these are like the summary of the opulence of Krishna. Krishna is displaying his opulence. And then, so in the first verse, 8 to 9, so what is happening here? So basically, Krishna is interacting with his queens. So it's like a water sports pastime. So it is quite natural that when we are fatigued, when we want to rejuvenate ourselves, so we engage in some relaxation or fun activities, and especially water is very pleasing to most of the people. One thing is water cleanses not just externally, but also it has an effect on our subtle body. Especially Japanese are very fond, Japanese, Chinese, I'm not sure. They're very fond of, the flow of water, the music that comes from the flow of water. They're very addicted to that. So that creates a very subtle effect, that has a very subtle effect on our mind. So it relaxes basically. So taking a bath is very important. So not just cleans our external thing, but also it calms down our mind. So that's why Srila Prabhupada often encourages, especially those who are Brahmanical, who are in that altar. So whenever before going to the deities, they need to take a bath. So the importance is like not just physical cleanliness, but also we will relax our mind. So whatever baggage we are getting it from outside the temple, so that will not enter in, so that we can exclusively focus on the Lord. So and then when we go into the water, so we swim and then we play. We can throw water on each other, and then it's a fun activity. So that's what is happening here. Krishna is enjoying, with his queens. So this particular pastime, and then this is often we see here this enjoying the water sports. The first example, most of us can remember the incident, is the water sports by Gajendra, the king of the elephants. He was like he had a very nice time with his wives, she elephants, in the forest, and then he saw a lake, and then he entered the lake, and then he started splashing water, on his wives, and then everything. So, but in that, while doing that, he got intoxicated, and then he forgot, you know, the main enemy. So he was careless, basically, in that particular time. So, and then there's a big pastime of Gajendra Moksha. So that happened during the water pastime, water sports. Similarly, we also see two more incidents. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he was one day before the Rath Yatra, so they were cleaning the Gundicha temple. So they were getting a lot of buckets of water from Narendra Sarovar nearby, and they cleansed the Gundicha temple so nicely. And after that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all his associates, so they went and they took bath in the Narendra Sarovar. And then, so so what happens? Okay, now you enter into the lake, so and then you start taking bath, and all of a sudden the atmosphere becomes very friendly, and then very joyous, so sportive, you know. So that's what happens when many people enter into the water. We just try to throw water on each other. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates, so they also just entered into the Go Vrindavan Leela, So and then they all started behaving like Gopa boys. The Gopa boys and Krishna, they have always fun together. They just wait for an excuse how we can play. So Mahaprabhu and his associates, they entered into that Vrindavan mood, and then. So somebody was climbing on the nearby tree, and then they were jumping into the water, and then they were playing all sorts of games. Though they are like grown up, but still they entered into the mood of Gopa boys and they were playing. Mahaprabhu was, it's all under the supervision of Mahaprabhu that was happening. And then another pastime which happened recently compared to Mahaprabhu's. So when Srila Prabhupada took all his disciples to Jagannath Puri. And then, so Prabhupada was like almost like very elderly, and then he was not having so much physical strength that time. So, and then, so they went to the lake, and then Prabhupada said, okay. And all his disciples were quite young, I mean, in less than 30s. So, so Prabhupada said, okay, go and take bath in the lake. So everybody jumped into the lake, and then they were like very happily taking bath. But they asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, please, you also come, into the water, take bath. So Prabhupada said, no, my health doesn't permit. No, I'm okay. I'm too tired. So and then so the disciples started taking bath, and then all of a sudden, that sportive mode came, and then they were all like having fun, and then they were all enjoying. And then uh, Prabhupada, seeing that particular mode of his disciples uh, in a very sportive mode, so Prabhupada also got inspired, and then he came into his gamchas, and then he also came and he joined that particular festive taking bath, and then see how the mood softens. Srila Prabhupada is like a guru, he's very grave. Guru means heavy. So to give that particular knowledge, Srila Prabhupada often took that heavy stand many times. But a guru is very kind also, and according to time, place, circumstance. So Srila Prabhupada was also in a sportive mode. He also entered into that sportive mode in that particular lake, uh, and then disciples, what they did, they took palmful of water because they heard beforehand that how a spiritual master need to be respected, how spiritual master need to be worshipped at any given opportunity. We should take advantage of that. So they understood how to please the spiritual master, how to serve the spiritual master, and that's the best place. There is they entered the water, and there is water. So all of a sudden, his disciples started taking palmful of water and pouring it as a abhishek to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada didn't say anything. Srila Prabhupada understands, if that opportunity is given, that will help the advancement of his disciples. And Srila Prabhupada agreed. And then that inspired. So there's a sportive thing. At the same time, there's a service also, serving our spiritual master, serving the great, whoever is our spiritual shelter. So that's very important. Just it's not just sport. So they understood the principle also, that it's not for their happiness, but to serve Srila Prabhupada. So that is also very important. At the order of Srila Prabhupada, they entered the water. And then when Srila Prabhupada came, they started serving Srila Prabhupada. So similarly, so what we see here, the queens of Dwarka, what is their mood? Okay, it seems that, so they are playing and then everything, but ultimately what? You know, so they want to give happiness to Krishna. So that is the main thing. Atmendriya Priti Vancha, Tara Bole Kam, Krishnendriya Priti Ichha, Dhare Premana. If we want to satisfy our own senses, so then the definition is called, it's called lust. Means our centric. Aham, mameti, I. How can I get happiness? Simple definition. But the same thing, oh, here is Krishna. What gives him happiness? So let us do that. So if this is what throwing water on Krishna gives him happiness, let us do that. If fighting with Krishna gives him happiness, let us do that. Bhishma Pitamaha were doing. He was taking the painful task of being opponent for Krishna and giving him that chivalry, happiness, Viryaras. And then he was shooting arrows and they were hitting Krishna. So Bhishma Pitamaha was ready to do that. Similarly, here queens of Dwaraka, they were ready to do whatever they can maximum. So they were, because Krishna goes to the court in the morning and then most of the time he spends outside. But when Krishna is with them, they wanted to give their best so that they can offer it to Krishna. And Krishna will be. So this is verses 8 to 9. In verse 10, so interestingly, so there's a lot of description of, mm, esoteric description how women's body parts are described, how they want to try to embrace Krishna, in the pretext of grabbing the syringe, water syringe from him. Just understand, what is happening. They're very simple. The queens of Dwarka. Of course, they have all this royal background, but their only goal is to just give happiness to Krishna. And as a chaste wife, what they think, okay, we can serve Krishna by various things. Manasa, Vacha, Kaya. So Kaya, with our body, with our mind, and with by speaking good words, we can serve a particular person. So here, so they are trying to embrace Krishna. So they feel that, okay, by doing this, I think Krishna will be happy. It's not that, I want happiness, so that's why I embrace Krishna. No, I'm a wife, and then my duty is to give happiness to my husband. Okay, by my embrace, if my husband is happy, let me do that. So that's what, uh, the queens of Dwarka are doing. Of course, they have desires for Krishna. So Krishna is fulfilling that desires by giving that opportunity. It's both of them are happening simultaneously. So the queens of Dwarka, they were having that loving exchanges. And then, so that's the best they can offer. So they are offering that, So, uh, and then it is said that, one should offer their best, whatever is possible for pleasing Krishna. And then what happens by doing this? So we'll come in the following verses. Now, all of a sudden, the focus goes on something else. So in the text 10, yeah. So text 10, this is what happens. Like uh, Krishna's queens, so they try to embrace him, so that just giving happiness, and then just by the touch of the Lord, so their desires are getting satisfied, and then we can see a satisfaction in their faces. Okay. Now, what happens? Now the beauty of the Lord is described. Okay, first the beauty of the queens is described and the beauty of the Lord. Lord Krishna's flower garland would become smeared with the kumkum from the breast, and his abundant locks of hair would become disabled as a result of his absorption in the game. So this is what, and then they say that Lord Krishna repeatedly sprayed his young consorts and they sprayed him in turn, and he enjoyed himself like the king of the elephants. So this is the purpose. We have to give happiness to Krishna in whatever way we can. so that that is the perfection of our life. So all our desires will be satisfied when Krishna is satisfied. Okay. Yatha taror moola nisechanena trupkanti. So when we pour the water to the root of the tree, so the entire tree is satisfied. So when all the queens try to satisfy Krishna, so everybody is happy. Or else if they compete with each other, there will be chaos. So there is one story in Srimad Bhagavatam. So there's one king called Chitraketu Maharaj. He had so many queens. So he kept on marrying because he wanted a son. Nobody could give him a son. Maybe it is not in his providence. So he kept on marrying so many queens. And what happened? All the queens were like, you know, they're not at this high level of, giving happiness to the others. They were thinking about themselves. So there was a great discontent among themselves. So many queens, and then each were fighting with one another. And then ultimately that resulted in a bigger chaos. So, and it resulted in a harm to the king himself. Okay. But here you see, all the queens of Dwarka, they just wanted to please Krishna. So that's why we see a perfect harmony amongst the queens of Dwarka. And similarly, anybody, a group of people who just want to please Krishna in any institution. So of course, Radhanand Maharaj is telling that, we come with big egos, but understand that, we keep the mission of spiritual masters and then mission of Srila Prabhupada in the forefront. So then there is a chance that we work together because our main goal is for the pleasure of Krishna. So that's what we see here, so everybody is trying to please Krishna. And Krishna's hair, when Krishna's hair is, disabled, unlocked, Krishna is, very beautiful. Beauty is the first opulence of Krishna. There are 6 opulences, but beauty is the first primary opulence of Krishna. Krishna is all attractive. And then when his hair is disabled, so it is like really very, beautiful. From how we understand this, so Krishna has got a name is Keshava. He has very beautiful hair. And then also Bhishma Pitamaha describes this particular scene. So Krishna took a vow that he will not lift a weapon in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But what happens? Bhishma wanted to test him. Bhishma wanted that Krishna should break his vow. So he attacks Arjuna so ferociously. So Krishna is forced to lift a weapon, the wheel, chariot wheel, and attack Bhishma. So that's why Krishna is called Radhanga Pani. Radhanga means wheel, Pani means hand. So one who lifted the wheel with the hand, Radhanga Pani. And then he charges towards Bhishma Pitamaha. And then while he was doing that, his hair will be completely disabled. And then all the dust from the Kurukshetra battlefield is accumulated on his hair and then on his face. And then Bhishma Pitamaha says, so this particular scene, I should remember at the time of my departure from this world. Just like a lion is charging towards his prey, with all his hair flying. So Krishna is coming so, such charge towards me to kill me. So that's how beautiful Krishna looks, when his hair is disabled. And then, of course, that time, that was a special interaction with Bhishma Pitamaha. And here also, Krishna is so beautiful. So moving to the next verse, 12. So text 12 is another very important lesson. So here, Krishna is displaying supreme opulence. Okay. We see there are like various organs in the Varnashrama system. So Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. The purpose of Grihasthas is to create wealth and support all the other 3 ashramas, Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. So it's very important for householders to make money and support other 3 ashrams. if they can. So it's very important. So here we see Krishna and his wives are observing the most important principle of Grihastha, that is charity. So because of that, everything else sustains. So of course, here they are giving charity to the professional people who are performing, but it's important so that we very nicely support the system. And then they are teaching by example. Of course, there are various other activities of Krishna, so which will be described. But charity is the principle. And then, so we this is, and then here things are like whatever Krishna is directly wearing, they are giving. So it is considered as Mahaprasad. Imagine Krishna himself directly. So how valuable it is. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, when he gave his personal belongings, he gave his Gunjamala to Raghunath Das Goswami. So they kept, Raghunath Das Goswami kept it to his close to his heart throughout his life. And now also we can see that when we go to Vrindavan. So Krishna's paraphernalia is very much sacred as Krishna himself. So we call it as Tadiya, his paraphernalia. So it's very important that so we respect that. And here they are getting that opportunity to directly get it from Krishna. So Krishna is teaching the principle of charity. And then in verse 13 and 14, some important principles are we can contemplate. What happens if we serve to the best of our capacity? So now again going back to the water sports. In this way, Lord Krishna would sport with his queens, totally captivating their hearts. With his gestures, talks, glances, and smiles, with his jokes, playful exchanges, and embraces. So this is the result. Krishna tries to captivate the hearts of the living entities. Everybody. So whatever activity of Krishna, or whatever devotional activity we do, so the main purpose is captivating the hearts of the conditioned souls. It's connecting back them to Krishna. So this is what is happening. When we faithfully serve, so the success, how do we measure the success? The hearts will be captivated. So I just have one recent example. 3 days ago, so we were welcoming His Holiness Radhanand Maharaj. So we were doing kirtan at the entrance of Bhakti Center. So we were singing Jainitai Prabhu, and then later Anuj Prabhu, they were leading the kirtan, and then it was so melodious. So we were singing, and then Jainitai Prabhu was so careful. So he was making sure that the walkway is not completely blocked. So he was allowing people to walk. So we were on both sides, and then people were walking in between. So that's a very nice strategy. People have to pass through the kirtan, so if they want to use the walkway. And then we saw people when we were doing kirtan, people outside, so they were also dancing. And one person we saw, there are two friends. So they were walking. One went ahead and one stopped in between the kirtan. And then he started dancing. He started, making steps just like the kirtan steps. Nobody taught him, but he himself was doing, and he's not doing for any promotion, not for Instagram, not for social media. His heart was captivated. Simple thing. So just why? Krishna's holy name. Krishna is performing his pastime right in front of Bhakti Center. Just like the water sports happening in Dwaraka, Krishna is captivating the hearts of the queens of Dwaraka. It happened right in front of Bhakti Center. The hearts were captivated. Other people, outside people also, some next door, there are two big construction workers, they were working, and they were also, just waving their hands like this. And then this person was doing, and then his friend called later, then he went. Just for 1 minute. That shows holy name is working. The one thing is, he didn't commit any offenses. He just came, heard holy name, and then he didn't left. We also come with that initial enthusiasm, that openness. We come, we get some taste, we also dance, but we stay with devotees, so there is some friction. So we have to struggle a while. That is also good. That's also good, because we are sticking with devotees. So there will be friction, and then there is a scope for improvement, refining, and then churning of our hearts. And Krishna appreciates that also. So, but that's what, captivating the heart. Krishna captivates the heart. Not just there in the water sports in Dwarka 5,000 years ago, but right now also, Krishna captivates our hearts. And the final thing, so what happens after this heart captivation of the heart? In text 14, this is going to trigger a beautiful set of verses. Okay. The queens would become stunned in ecstatic trance once the heart is captivated. Their minds absorbed in Krishna alone. Then, thinking of their lotus-eyed Lord, they would speak as if insane. Please hear these words from me as I relate to them. Insane. All of a sudden, on the streets of New York, in the First Avenue, one person is start dancing. You say, "Kya pagal ho gaya kya? It's become mad, crazy, crazy. He's a crazy person." That's what happened to a person. He was going through the kirtan and he started dancing. You know, so people become. They say it's crazy, but so it's like absorption. Many people call Hare Krishna sir crazy, but we are just absorbed in the holy name. you know so when the hearts are captivated, so that results in complete absorption. Many times Srila Prabhupada said, what is the essence of practicing bhakti? It's absorption. Not that somebody will clap or for our class, somebody will clap for our kirtan, somebody will appreciate our deity worship, somebody will appreciate our seva. This is okay. If they appreciate or not, Krishna is saying, we will get that satisfaction. Just do it for Krishna. Absorb in that service. Krishna is reciprocating. We get that happiness. So that's what, and once that absorption is there, people become insane and crazy, and they start speaking, behaving insanely. And that's what happens. Now, Queen starts speaking something which is really, out of the box. So they experience this by Chitya. A person is next to us, but there is an anxiety. What is that anxiety? Oh, this person will leave soon. What will happen? That anxiety of separation kicks in. So it's already time. So we summarize, we saw how Krishna is performing his pastimes in Dwarka, bathing with his queens. And then queens are very much dedicated, they want to serve Krishna. And then Krishna is exemplifying the aspect of charity. And then Krishna performs his pastimes just to captivate the hearts of the devotees and all the living entities, so that we can absorb ourselves and then we can make spiritual advancement. Thank you so much for your patient hearing. Any reflections, any comments? Um, the in uh,
Thank you so much for great class. Um, your sharing of Krishna's hair, how it's so beautiful in the water sports with his wives, and also charging towards Bhima. It nearly made me weep. It's just so beautiful. I wanted to ask when you told us about this man who joined the kirtan in front of Bhakti Center, and he spontaneously started just dancing. Um, and you had, as you were sharing that, you had said that he was open to this, and I'm wondering what is the key for us, the practitioners, to be in that place of openness, so could actually be captivated by Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you for asking, and it's a very important question which I try to reflect often. He was not with devotees for a long time, but we decided to be with devotees and serve Krishna along with devotees. That's a challenge. It's not easy because everybody have their own set of things. Maharaj was telling recently, we have our own egos. So what happens? There is a struggle and there are like challenges, conflicts, you know. But the thing is, recently we were hearing repeatedly we got this in Bhagavatam classes. The least thing what we can do is respect. Don't leave that aspect of respect. You can respect others. You know, when we try to respect others, what will happen? Krishna is pleased, and Krishna is the source of our enthusiasm, our sweetness. I mean, like taste. If Krishna is happy, everybody will be happy, right? So similarly, Krishna sees what pleases Krishna is we respect others in spite of our differences, in spite of our mistreatments, whatever is happening. In the association of devotees, we respect others, you know, and then, we try to safeguard us, but at the same time, don't respect. If we don't disrespect anybody, Krishna is happy. Krishna sees that, oh, this person is struggling to be in the association of devotees. And if Krishna is happy, no matter how many whoever people are trying to challenge us, create problems to us, we'll be safe. Example is Prahlad Maharaj. He's just one alone person. The entire Hiranyakashipu's kingdom is against him, but he's fearless. He's happy because Krishna is giving him the happiness. So that's my understanding that so we try minimum is to respect, but more than this is we can glorify. Respect is a neutral thing, but we can glorify the devotees. Actually, everybody is trying to do their best in service of Krishna. They're trying to sacrifice something. The fact that to continue in bhakti is not easy. It's not easy. We are trying to sacrifice something and then serve spiritual master. So if you can glorify, that is one step more. Krishna will be very much pleased.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Do we show respect to satisfy Krishna, or we genuinely respect the people?
Yeah, genuine is important. Krishna will be happy, but even if superficially it is done, Krishna will be happy. Because that's a etiquette. Krishna understands, even though you don't mean it, but you are trying to. That's it. Krishna is happy because you are respecting a devotee. Sadhvi,
Yeah.
she raised the hand.
Sadhvi and Narottam Nitai. Let's do it during the afterglow. It's 8 o'clock. Janitai Prabhu is facilitating the darshan. Thank you, Janitai Prabhu.
Thank you. Prabhupada ki.
Spiritual master, the only way by which we can exchange through devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean. Krishna. Our spiritual master is the ocean, the friend of the poor and the Lord of ashes. All master angels and give us the shade of his feet. May your fame be spread all over the three worlds. We take a shelter, the lotus feet. Shiva Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Shri Shri Radha Muralidhar. Thank you, Janitai Prabhu. Hare Krishna, welcome to the Afterglow. Krishna Daya Prabhu, are you here? Krishna Daya Prabhu is not here. Okay. Haricharan Prabhu, are you available?
Yes, Prabhu, sorry,
Krishna. Hare
I couldn't.
Krishna, I'm sorry.
Your voice
You
is
can do it. Great. Great. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Narottam Nitai Prabhu, your hand was raised.
Dandavas, yeah. So I just wanted to quickly ask because I know in the Bhagavad Gita it is said like you know obviously Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead and the best worship is worshiping him. So my question is like before I came to Krishna consciousness, like I used to go to a lot of temples in like New York City, like basically a demigod worship, but like but what I wanted to say was like, is it okay just like how can we show respect to demigods? Because I know because like sometimes even for me sometimes today like I'm not able to wake up and my hand doesn't directly go in the Japa bag. You know, like I have a lot of thoughts in my mind, and sometimes these memories come up of like going to the temples in New York City, and so I just was wondering like, is that also like a form of respect? To show respect to the demigods that we've might have worshipped in our life, on our path to Krishna.
Hari Charan Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah, actually, the intention is important here. So, I think as long as you have that intention that you need to wake up, right? Slowly, gradually, that you will develop that habits of waking up early. So, and then the greed, inside the heart, like we want to accumulate so many things, right? Like that, like we need to have that greed to accumulate the pious credits or bhakti credits, so that you'll slowly develop that hankering for doing more devotion service and more often associating with devotees. So yeah, I think that would help your answering your question.
Thanks for.
Thank you, Hari Charan Prabhu. Yeah, how can we offer respects to all but demigods? Respect, we have to respect, like Surab Prabhu, he says, lots of love and respect. We're not demigods, but he's offering respect.
Remember, they're all around us, just like the American Indians, the Aboriginal cultures always understood that this other world is all around us. So, first important
Yeah,
thing is don't do anything stupid because you're being watched.
yeah. Don't
And
spit
that
on the floor. Yeah.
yeah,
And
don't treat people badly.
Maybe Bhima Prabhu is a demigod. How do we know? Be careful.
Yeah, how do you guys know? Just treat me like a demigod. Everything will be all right. I'll be happy. My God, I was a husband. Now I'm a demigod. Oh my God, what a from one end of the universe to the other.
Yeah. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu.
We should treat everybody like that.
Exactly.
You ever notice that when you meet someone like Radhanath Maharaj, and of course Prabhupada's legend. He's legend. He literally is legend. He changed the world. That means he did what demigods can't even do. Like when you see what the demigods are up to, they're up to doing their work, but they also up to having a good time, and they're not out changing people's consciousness. I mean, that's huge. Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands into the future, the consciousness of at least the Western mind is going to be changed because Prabhupada reached out. So there are he's Shaktavesh. He was empowered. He was that's powered by God when when Prabhupada said, make me dance, let me be your puppet, he really meant it. He really meant that I'm just going to let go of my will and let Krishna's will, which began with my guru's order, which is to go to the West and bring this Krishna consciousness to the Western world in the English speaking language. And he was 70 years old. How did he get the confidence to do that? Because he knew Shastra, because he had a trunk full of books, or because he just placed himself in Krishna's hands and Krishna did the work? Krishna did it. I remember one thing that was always told to us, devotees who were on the road, either doing books or raising funds to buy land for the cows and for farming. The goodness that was New Vrindavan. There was so much goodness there. that we knew that to a certain extent, because we were in such flux, because we were always on the edge, we were always on the drop of the edge of a lotus leaf. I mean, I remember two vans. One went off the road, and in one, two devotees died in the middle of the winter because it was, like 0 degrees out, and they were trying to heat their van, and didn't turn out so well. So we were all like on that edge, but we knew that we just kept on going because we were under the energy, and you knew that you were under the dome of the protection of the holy name, and you were under the dome of the protection of the devotees, and you were under the dome of the protection that you were doing what you felt was devotional service. You had devotion and you did service. Come of it what it may, come of the fruits what it may. Ours was not the fruits. Ours was just in the doing. And to answer your question, Prabhu, to worship the demigods is to find yourself a mission and allow them to create all facility for you to fulfill that mission, whether it is having a wonderful Krishna conscious family, and or spreading the holy name. So that's what I have heard, and that's what I've found that has worked out in my own life. That when you surrender, then you are when you surrender, you are in the things that happen around you are from the realm of the demigods. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. I recently was speaking with Adipusha Prabhu, and I told him, Adipusha Prabhu, how wonderful. You are in your 70s, and look at you. You're riding a bicycle, you're playing the guitar, everybody wants to hang out with you. It's unbelievable. And he said to me, no, I'm not riding a bike. I'm not playing the guitar. I'm serving Krishna. I'm serving the devotees, and that's what's attractive. Right, Adipusha Prabhu? All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Sadhvi Dide has her hand up.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for today. As a person who has been working within the healthcare in my young healthy days, and learning about many people in many walks of life, and being even religions, I can even give an example about Iranian, where when the regime changed, drinking alcohol could end you up to get lashes in your back 100, 200 times, to be tortured because you have drink. Still, they had difficulty to stop it. So I wonder, is it possible? I just want to learn, not that I'm questioning, but I just want to understand. Is it possible that even one's free will is under the Maya's control also? That's why some people have very difficulty to, even though they want, even though they are threatened by their life and torture and so on, still they can't stop. Could it be because their will is under the control of Maya also? Thank you.
Great question, Sadhvi Didi. We need an Acharya to answer this one. Adipusha Prabhu, is free will limited by Maya? Can Maya check our free will? Adipusha Prabhu? Great question. Adipusha Prabhu, check 1, check 2. Hare Krishna. Looks a little
I can
frozen.
answer it.
Oh, Bhima Prabhu, yes.
Yeah, if you're talking about alcohol and being out of control and knowing better but doing the other thing, that's where I come in. Adi, I don't think Adi's ever done any of those things, but it's lust only, number one, and of course, lust comes from desire. That's what we are. That's all we have is desire. That's all we have is desire. And it's our will, our own will. It's not like, oh, the devil made me do it, Maya is influencing me. No, she she writes something on the wall, and you can either read the writing on the wall, or you can ignore it. Maya always reads the writing. All these stories in the Bhagavatam, let alone just historical stories or just Shakespeare, right? You act this way, you're going to get smashed, kings and queens and infidelities and everything like that. The story is all around us. It's our desire. We choose to do these paths. We choose to turn away. We choose to disremember or not remember. And Krishna, guess what Krishna does? He hands forgetfulness on a silver platter to us, right? He's not. He facilitates everything, even forgetfulness. I am remembrance, and I am forgetfulness. So, but who's at fault here? Is it Maya influencing us, or is it our desire? So that's where we got to get to the core of our desire. What do I really want? What's really going on here? And then check yourself before you wreck yourself. I just made that up. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. It's
Can
like
I,
a
can
vampire. Go ahead.
I have a follow-up here.
Go
I
ahead.
can say about my own experience. You say when someone wants something or wills something, they will get it. And when you don't let your desire or your how do you say something about lust control you, but you just want it to be spiritual, to follow God's way and everything. I can talk about myself. I have done it in many. Since I was a child, I was a seeker, and I wanted to know about the meaning of the life. Who am I? Why this? Why that? And so on. And I wanted to learn. It didn't happen to me before I come well over 55 years old. But when I start to learn, it was not that I had, for instance, I was a smoker, but I stopped smoking well before. Could it be because it was time? Because combination between the Maya's control and karma makes it that some people have to go through certain time, and then they may get control of it because they got the permission to it because it was a time. Could it be that?
If
Hare Krishna.
choose to see life as school, this earth is a school ground. And of course, there's recession, there's play good time, and everything like that. We are, as devotees, and that's time and circumstance to be talking about right now, is how do we view this as devotees, not how do we view it as from our past lives, or at least for myself as lost. But as a devotee, as someone who's trying to get to know God and Krishna's hand in our life, we have to understand that Krishna allows us this freedom of choice. And Maya is there, like I said, with the writing on the wall, saying, if you do this, this will be your responsibility. This is how we become like unto the play, the friends of Krishna, or friendship. Developing a friendship with Krishna is one of the steps that leads to surrender. There's prayer, there's blah blah blah, and then developing friendship with Krishna. What does that mean? That means there comes the word Krishna Daya was saying, respect. Having that respect that Krishna has laid it all out for us. And are we going to respect his wishes? Are we going to obey? Or are we going to just do our own thing? He gives us that complete freedom. So when you understand that he gives us a complete freedom and the facility to fulfill our desires, right or wrong, once you understand that, then you start being grateful, number one. And number two, you stop making these big mistakes because you realize that we are now responsible for our own actions. So when you read the writing on the wall and you say, hey, cigarette smoking is going to give me cancer, there's no doubt about it, then it's up to you, totally up to you. So that's how it's worked out for since time immemorial in the drama that is our lives.
Thank you.
Krishna says, time I am. So whether we came to Krishna at the age of 5 or 55, it doesn't matter because Krishna is beyond time, I think. I heard. Okay, I'm entering into the car wash. Okay. All right. Prabhu. So, Prabhu. Hello.
Hare Krishna, lots of love and respect to everyone. Interesting enough, when the question was asked about the demigods, I was truly thinking that exactly what Ananda Bihari said. It's like same thought process at the same time. It's like absolutely, he himself can be a demigod, and he can just be God in general, and so. So that question about demigods, I really feel like listen to the heart. If you don't, if you show love and respect to Sri Krishna and not to the demigods are not going to be offended at all, not even 1%, because that universal oneness concept, right? And then goes vice versa too. Follow the heart. The heart tells us everything. Look at Sri Adi Purush. That service every day. That's godlike, right? So what I'm saying is, I think, I don't know. My heart tells me that Krishna in my heart tells me that question. We need to stop analyzing and thinking with the brain. Think with the heart. The answers come. So Hari Bol. Everything everyone else said. Hari Bol.
Yes. Uh-oh. Haribo, sorry about that. I'm pulling up a carpet.
Well, maybe, oh, he's here. Okay.
Hare Krishna, what's happening? Is Bhima talking? No? Did Adi Purusha Prabhu speak? Did Adi Purusha Prabhu speak? Did you speak, Adi Purusha Prabhu?
Magical there. What's going on around you?
I can't hear it.
I don't think Adi Purusha Prabhu has gotten to speak yet. I'm not sure if you can hear us, Nanda Bihari Prabhu.
I can hear, but there's a lot of noise from Nanda Bihari's car wash. Hare Krishna, wonderful class. I mean, just everything accurate, sweet, and complete. I don't have a lot to add. Praying to Prabhupada what to say. This passage about Krishna enjoying himself in different ways. We are Prakriti and he is Purusha. He's the enjoyer. We are feminine. We're meant to give pleasure. And to hear about others giving pleasure. And we're even pleased to hear others giving pleasure to Krishna. There's one spectrum. One end is love, and the other end there's envy. When we try to be Krishna or compete with him or, think selfishly. At the other end, we just want to give. Radhanath Swami said this one thing when he was in high school. His parents brought him out to a restaurant, and one of his schoolmates was a busboy in the restaurant. And Maharaj felt so uncomfortable having somebody serve him, and that he wouldn't eat. I think he even left. And that's our nature. By nature, we are feminine, we are pleasure-giving, and it's very unnatural for us to try to make ourselves the center. So Krishna is so wonderful that he's allowing us to do that if we want to, but we will never be satisfied like that. We are loving beings, and we're satisfied when we engage in unceasing, unmotivated devotional service to Krishna, when we desire unceasing, unmotivated devotional service to Krishna. At least that's what I heard from Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Adipurusha Prabhu, and a follow-up question. So Sadhvi Didi joined at 55. Was it Krishna who wasn't permitting her to join the Hare Krishna movement, or was it Maya that was checking Sadhvi's desire to know the truth?
So much noise around you, I can't figure out exactly what you said. I heard a few words.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll ask later. I'm muting myself.
Adi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's asked, Satvik joined at 55. I've yet to join. But anyways, Satvik joined at 55. She's wondering what kept her.
Krishna was preparing us. Sometimes people say, how come I don't have a husband yet? Because Krishna's preparing you to be a good wife. How come Krishna has this perfect timing, and there's more to life than just this one body that we have right now. Maybe he's been preparing us for thousands of years, letting us come at our own pace, just perfectly timing.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada started this movement when he was 65 or 69.
There's so much noise, I don't hear all the words.
Srila Prabhupada started this movement when he was 69. He took his time. He could have come sooner, right? But somehow or other Krishna arranged that this was the perfect time for it. So, thank you. Okay. Would anyone else like to speak?
Is your soul getting clean in there?
No, just exterior.
Look at, you're on the outside. You should go right through the middle. You should get in there and let those brushes like comb back that gray hair of yours around the temple and scrub your soul clean.
Thank you, Dina Prabhu. That's what morning class does to my soul. As soon as I get out of class, I get dirty again, but at least while I'm in class, I feel very uplifted and pure. I think it's because of your association, Bhima Prabhu, mostly, for the most part.
You know what's so funny is when we listen to these great souls give classes, when they're giving the class, we sometimes understand what they're saying, right? And we're like, oh, I feel like a pure devotee now. Like, that's it. I'll definitely know how to run my day. And then as soon as the class ends, as soon as it goes, the Zoom goes to like lost connection or you have now left or whatever, all of a sudden, boom, you're thrown back into the world again. And Krishna's like, here's a test for you. Here's another test. And of course, that's why we have 365 days in a year, because you need 365 tests every year to get you to grow. So you can imagine how long this preparation, a lifetime, why that book about Prabhupada, A Lifetime in Preparation, to think that we don't have to go through a lifetime of preparation.
Yeah, the first volume of Prabhupada Lilamrita is called Life in Preparation, as far as I know. So Sadhvi, don't feel bad. What matters is that where you are now, in morning class, that's what matters. Thank you, Sadhvi, for your association and your sincerity. Okay, let's see. Jay Robinson. Jay Robinson, please unmute yourself and recite the Maha Mantra to complete the offering for today.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sweet. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada's morning program ki jai, everybody on this call ki jai. Thank you very much for your association. Hare Krishna.